What's up, y'all? This topic is inflation. I want you to know inflation is real, right? We the people, we control the inflation though. If we parked our cars or started carpooling, even though it's a pandemic, wash your hands, hand sanitize, drive with people you've been around already. You can break the inflation thing. You can. And you can, if you have multiple streams of income, which you have to have, even if it's just minuscule, $2-3 every few hours, that's staking, right? I suggest you get into NFTs too, cryptocurrency, digital currency, and NFTs. Cryptocurrency is like stock market, there's bear markets and bull markets, dips, that's highs and lows. Also, though, I definitely...
Why don't you stake USDC? Why don't you stake US stablecoin? You can make 4.7 to 6% in a 90-day period. And I call up my own accountants, my own compliance officer said, we're going to stake some USDC. And they said, what, are you out of your mind? You can't do that. The pressure to get into crypto now at the institutional level has never been bigger. So I have done a small experiment, and I've started to work with Circle, and I am staking USDC. This is where the world is going, Scott. This has to get resolved because people with cash have to get some kind of protection against inflation. The only place you can find it is in crypto. How crazy is that?
Well, Kevin O'Leary.
Why don't you stake
That's Kevin O'Leary.
USDC?
So how do we fight inflation? He's speaking on it. And that's on my TikTok at Southpaw the Poet One. And I posted that. When did I post that video? I posted that November 16th, 2021. That video I posted on my TikTok with Kevin Leary from Shark Tank talking about USDC and staking it. I posted that November 16th, 2021. So, but I also want to talk about how you could conserve. There's things these commercials make you think you need that you don't. You don't have to be doing bad. I seen the Willie D video. He said he'd been preparing for the recession for 3 years by saving and not buying things he don't need. I'm straight up a prepper. Squirrels, no matter what the universe is doing, what man is doing, they still stock up for the winter. Even when we don't know what season it is, they're stocking up for that day. They're putting their, things away for when things get tough. You have to think like that. Especially if you don't own no grocery stores, you're not growing your own stuff. You have to set aside stuff. Cut back and save is the only way to also is another way to beat inflation. So talking inflation, talking digital, and again, I posted that on my TikTok at Southpaw the Poet One.
Your mind, you can't do that. The pressure to get into crypto now at the institutional level has never been bigger. So I have done a small experiment, and I've started to work with Circle, and I am staking USDC. This is where the world is going, Scott. This has to get resolved because people with cash have to get some kind of protection against inflation. The only place you can find it is in crypto. How crazy is that?
Well, Kevin O'Leary.
Why don't you stake USDC? Why don't you stake US stablecoin? You can make 4.7 to 6% in a 90-day period. And I call up my own accountants, my own compliance officer said, we're going to stake some USDC. And they said, what, are you out of your mind? You can't do that. The pressure to get into crypto now at the institutional level has never been bigger. So I have done a small experiment, and I've started to work with Circle, and I am staking USDC. This is where the world is going, Scott. This has to get resolved because people with cash have to get some kind of protection against inflation. The only place
Inflation. We're talking inflation. You see the gas prices? Don't worry about who to blame. Check yourself. The word pay means to regret. I'm paying somebody for these foods with all these preservatives, artificial colorings and flavorings. That's going to give me cancer. You're going to regret it. If you don't, hey man, knowledge saves lives when knowledge is applied. Apply this knowledge, y'all. Don't be walking through this life, looking for a leader. Some people do need to be led. But some of us, we got to take care of each other, y'all. This information is just because I'm in a place where we ain't even feeling the inflation like that, except for the gas prices. You understand me? Like, I'm in a little city where everything is self-grown, and I eat healthy. The people around we eat healthy, so we not tripping. I can live off bananas and pickled okra and water and a woman. For real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, put you some stuff up. Hey, you know, at the end of the month, you start using a little bit of your dishwashing liquid to make it stretch. Do that at the beginning of the month. You won't be buying dishwashing liquid, but every other month or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know how when that toilet paper roll get little, you start using 2? How about when you first put the roll on there, just use 2? You can stretch stuff out, bro. Or just wash it. You know what I mean? It's cleaner with soap and water than it is with just toilet paper anyway. If you think you gotta eat every day, that's an illusion. That's an illusion. You need air. You need water. You understand me? You can have, you know, it's little things you don't have to have 3 meals a day. That's a psychological thing. That's a capitalistic trick for you know, for commercials, you know, repetition commercials. You know, take you a quick business class on online real quick. You know, watch how these things, how they market us. So it's watch the inflation is so man-made too. You know, electric cars been around since the 30s. You know, we know about solar energy, geothermal energy. You know, wind turbine energy. We know about this. So for people to be losing their minds over gas and fossil fuels, and you know, they raising people's electric bills. Look like Tesla wanted to give the whole world free electricity. He died in the 1950s at a hotel in New York called New York Hotel or something. So these people that wanted to give us, you know, free energy, because this planet was given to us for free, and you know, so people that wanted to give us this free energy, you know, that they know that's how you're supposed to live. Your soul is supposed to be here, having a human experience, experiencing wonders. You know, you're not supposed to be boggled down with a 9 to 5, hoping the weekend comes, stay alive, you know, barely making it for food. The animals, birds and stuff don't worry about the food. They worry about man taking all the food and, you know, destroying the earth. But the birds, the animals, they not worried about it. They know they at home wherever they at. Anyway, that's just my, guess it's a Wednesday rant, you know, but it's inflation. It's the inflation rant, you know. So, like, share, subscribe, comment, deuces. Hey, save like your name is Yahshua, Jesus, Jesus. You understand me? Yahweh. Save like that. You know, put back. You don't need all that. You know, that's why they got leftover and containers and plastic wrap. You know, save. And if you ain't eating healthy, it's killing you anyway. And it ain't just that. It's cut back on buying things you don't need. You know, I had 3 cars. I remember my big cousin Fat Cat. Shout out to my cousin Fat Cat. He said, "You got 3 cars, cuz. You can't drive all 3 of them at the same time." He was right. You know, cut back. My next car, I got a van now. You know, it's registered as a business, but my next vehicle is gonna be one of those little Herbie Love Bug. I seen a gray one. I love it. That's my next vehicle. Them little people, them little cars right now is winning right now. You hear me? Yeah. All right. Like, share, subscribe. Take care of yourself. Deuces, too far.